IPScan XE is a high-performance solution, a must-have for the network administrator who wants to manage the endpoint communications. IPScan XE is an agentless network access control solution that provides network administrators with essential tools, including IP address management. And it also provides such important functions as static IP device control, built-in secure DHCP server, IP conflict protection, unused IP blocking, and IP usage time control regarding the IPAM feature. Regarding the agentless NAC feature, IPScan XE provides rogue device blocking, IP or MAC blocking, and access time control as non-802.1x based solution. It uses the IP or MAC addresses that are fundamental resource to the network system to provide IP or MAC information as well as the user information in real time. For controlling the switch port, it uses SNMP to block or unblock the switch port to help the network administrator manage the endpoints, the ultimate goal for NAC. IP or MAC management, as one of the major features of IPScan XE, can be classified in two categories: static IP management and DHCP IP management. For the static IP management, real-time IP or MAC status update for entire network, unused IP reservation, IP or MAC binding, IP conflict prevention, IP changing prevention, group and description management functions are provided, while for the DHCP IP management, temp network access allowance for visitor, network access time control for visitor, MAC address filtering for access security, static IP address control in DHCP pool, unknown DHCP server detection functions are available. As the core of the IPScan solution, the purpose of IP conflict protection is to locate and prevent the conflict-causing PC from accessing the network, and to protect the affected network devices so that they keep working normally with no consequent downtime. The protection feature is widely used in most network-based companies in various industrial fields. For example, in machinery industry, an IP conflict due to a change to an IP that is used in factory automation machine may occur by an unauthorized PC or laptop computer user, leading to factory shutdown, a serious problem. In such a case, factory machinery featuring IP conflict protection can be protected by the very function, and the network admin can block troublemaking PCs from accessing the network immediately, therefore potentially preventing a huge financial loss. From the financial viewpoint, terminals such as ATM machines, internet banking servers, and bank teller machines can cause huge financial and customer information losses if they are shut down. In the meantime, the network admin can use the IP conflict protection to block the trouble-causing device and protect the internet banking server from unauthorized access. In general companies, the most serious IP conflict is the one that affects the major network equipment, such as a backbone switch. In such a case, the entire network can be paralyzed if not restored immediately, which can cause incalculably huge financial damage. As the intended or unintended use of IPs by the PC user can shut down the network temporarily, IPScan's solution can prevent this situation and protect major network devices in a simple and perfect way. Blocking unauthorized MAC is to prevent unauthorized network device or personal PC from accessing the network. Any security-important DHCP environment must employ this function, which can solve the problem of unmanaged IP assignment to unauthorized PCs. Blocking unauthorized MAC is a representative function of the agentless NAC system. For the ordinary agent-based NAC, installing the agent requires assignment of IP or MAC address from the network server, as the isolated network can receive even harmful packets. Since this function of IPScan quarantines the MAC address itself, unauthorized MAC can't access the network from the very start, and thus the entire network can be safe from various threats from endpoints. To manage IP address space, the IP scan solution supports functions of blocking unauthorized IPs and managing expired, out-of-date IPs. Blocking unauthorized IP is to restrict access to unused IPs in the target IP range, excluding the currently used IPs, an attempt to prevent indiscreet use of IP resources. Managing expired IP is to recollect those IPs for future use that are left unused by external temporary personnel who have used the IP so far. This is to prevent resource depletion due to IP misuse and to help the network admin manage the actual IP range. At first, you can use IP scan to check the status of real-time usage of all IP or MAC information in the live network. In the host list, you can edit user information as well as IP or MAC addresses in the entire network for managerial purposes. In a large-scale network, if a change to IP address or net BIOS name occurs due to formatting the hard disk, reinstalling the OS, and reconfiguring the network settings, the network admin can check the use history of the IP address, frequently changed IPs, and blocked IPs. Based on the data, the admin can select to lock changing the IP address. For a proper management of the users, provide information of the username, contact number, and email address as the user-defined field for IP or MAC management. The data, then, will be changed according to the change to the IP or MAC address. This is necessary for proper management of the user information and as well as the usage history. For example, Chris was given an official order to move to a branch office, so he returns his IP and moves to the new office carrying his laptop computer, where he will receive a new IP from the branch office. In the meantime, IP scan console collects Chris's IP, but the IP is still owned by Chris because the user information is maintained based on the MAC address. So IP scan assigns a new IP to the branch office for Chris. The change to the IP address will be reported based on which the administrator can assign Chris's IP to a new user. As such, the real-time management of IP or MAC can be used for IP or space management and user mapping. Group management is the basis for management of the IP or MAC address. Groups managed by IP scan are divided into two categories: virtual group and probe group. The virtual group can be classified by the department, region, such as main and branch office, and policy application. For example, the IP or MAC addresses of employees in the main office and those in the branch office can be grouped separately, as the individual virtual group for separate management. The probe group is used for managing the IP or MAC addresses by the probe in the network. The probe group contains all addresses in the IP monitoring range that is controlled by the probe, so that the monitoring unit can be clustered by a unit network that is controlled by each probe. Another type of the probe group is Class C-based group. The management method will cluster the IP monitoring ranges automatically, based on Class C information. Namely, the 10.1.1.x and 10.1.3.x ranges are grouped separately for separate monitoring by IP address ranges.